There have been plenty of doomsday scenarios that have been talked about before. 2012, the Great Recession of 2008, the global war on terrorism, Y2K, peak oil, global warming, the Great Ice Age, the ozone hole. However, one prediction doesn't get as much play as any of these. A project at MIT headed by Jay Forrester predicted dwindling natural resources, rising costs, a scarcity of mineral resources, radioactive and heavy metal pollution, lack of farmable land, would create an increasingly worsening scenario that would reach a breaking point around 2040. This 1972 doomsday scenario is based on limits to growth. When this scenario was first proposed, it was extremely controversial. A lot of the problems that we face today are not exactly new problems. The method in which we're presented these problems is new, however. We receive news at an unprecedented rate. A story that used to take a week or a month before most of the population had heard of it is now readily available as the story unfolds. In 2020, Gaia Harrington published an updated model in the Yale Journal of Ecology, coming amid a cascade of alarming environmental events from western US and Siberian wildfires to German floods, and a report that suggests the Amazon rainforest may no longer be able to perform as a carbon sink. Harrington's work predicted the collapse could come around 2040 if current trends held. The population, industrial output, food, and resources will rapidly decline. The 2100s will be like returning to the 1900s. However, in the new model, nothing is set in stone. Harrington's model also allows for the belief that we have about a decade or so to resolve our issues with infrastructure development and resource management. Could this happen? It's as likely to happen as any other doomsday scenario before this one. We don't know. Our problems tend to be cyclical, and each generation faces almost the same problem that's been modified to fit the current day of observation. Devastation, wars, starvation, disease, these have always been problems that affected mankind. What can we extrapolate from all of this information? Well, for one, living in a city is not ideal. It's also something that we can't avoid depending on our situation in the modern world, let's face it. Not everybody is going to be able to go out and homestead on their own 40 acres. And 40 acres in the southwest United States are different than 40 acres in the Midwest. 40 acres in the South would be different than 40 acres in the Northeast, and they come with different land management needs. Does that mean that we're all screwed? No. The assessment that they return to a 19th century style life is pretty feasible. Everyone knows what an auto is, everyone knows what a TV is, people know what a radio is, but how many people know how to make every last part from beginning to end? That's where trades and specialization comes in. We would at least be able to understand what we've lost and then quickly try to rebuild to that same level as before. However, that does mean that most of the skills that are going to be useful are going to be the skills that are often overlooked. You need farmers, you need mechanics, you need steel workers, you need people who understand mining, you need wilderness survival skills, you need people who understand security, who can also provide security. And contrary to what people think, not everyone can provide manual labor. There are people out there who will want something for nothing. Every member of the society will have to take a skill that is useful, that produces tangible results. Humans are resilient enough to always rebuild. But the skills that you learn in a trade school, the skills that you learn in the military, the skills that you learn when you try to understand how to live in the wilderness or how to live on a farm isolated from other people are going to be more valuable than learning how to code. Now, if learning how to code is how you make your bread and butter here, yes, by all means, it's not a useless skill. 100% learn it, master it, be the best at it. It doesn't hurt to become a master of another skill that might be useful, such as EMT level medical knowledge. If the 1972 MIT model is correct, then survival is going to favor the people that are deemed irreplaceable, that have skills, that can at least teach those skills if they're not able to do those skills. And that, I think, is my most important point. You can stockpile all the goods and all the tools that you'd need, but without being able to organize and identify people in the community who could help you in such an event, once those supplies run out and once those tools break, you're going to be in a world of trouble if you don't know anything. Eventually bullets will run out, the fuel for your bug-out vehicle will go bad, your stored food with no seeds will run out, and all that you'll be left with to exchange with others is what you can offer in terms of survivability and usefulness. Get fit, get healthy, become more knowledgeable, and become a master of something tangible. I hope this video got you thinking beyond just having the gear. There are plenty of great teachers out there. Get out and learn good information from the people that you're drawn to, because we don't know how bad it can be later on down the road. So until the next video, be good, stay safe, and have a good one.